Man, I love Nemo Kart, but this wait is killing me. Wait, it's the 5th. It's time. Show time. This video will be divided into 3 parts. A little bit about everything new, the things I think are particularly cool, the cringe and uncool, and my final thoughts on the game at the end. Also, I stream stuff like this. Give me your eyes. A few major changes have been added to shake things up. Rail grinds are likely the most common one you'll use. If you jump onto any railing, cable, or power line, you will cling to it, building up a mini turbo if you're on the rail long enough. You can bounce back and forth between rails with the drift button if they are close enough, or you can jump off if you want. Wall rides are a much more skill-based mechanic. They feel really janky to me personally, but based off clips I've seen, I realize that I'm just bad. You do a charged jump, triggered by holding down the drift while going straight, and just hop up onto the wall for a brief time before either geometry kicks you off or your allotted wall time ends. This enables insane shortcuts that I can't do because I'm bad. The final mechanic I'll talk about is rewind. Rewind is only for single player stuffs, and all you have to do is hit down on the D-pad and any mistake you've made will be undone. Obviously your opponents won't reverse in time with you, so use this feature carefully. Starting things off on a big note, we have the Mega Mushroom. Returning from Mario Kart Wii, it's a fairly shrimple item. Munch it down and increase in size and speed. You also wield the power to crush anyone in your path, so go out of your way to run over people. For a much less shrimple item, we have Kamek. This mischievous Koopa flies ahead, transforming racers into various Mario enemies, and spawns those same enemies to serve as road hazards. Lots of varieties here, and it's how some playable characters are unlocked. More on that later. Just remember that those enemies are going to attack you as well. Very similar-ish items, so they share a spot. The block is the less interesting of the two. Spam your item button while holding this item to increase your coinage. Now for the blinged out Koopa shell. When you throw this, it zooms off ahead in the middle of the track, following the same path as the blue shell, dropping a lot of coins on the way for a few moments before stopping and exploding into a ring of coins. Gobble those little guys up because your opponents can and will reap those shell profits. The dash food is a nifty little thing. It takes the form of many different treats, each having a 1, 2, 3 variant. Each gives you a boost, with 1 having the smallest boost and 3 having the largest boost. It's also used to unlock character costumes. More on that later. The hammer is one of the most interesting items added. You throw a bunch of them in a short arc and they stick to the ground for a second or so, potentially forcing a collision if you aim it properly. Just try to learn the distance because they do not go very far and you can run into them as well. The ice flower is literally just the fire flower, but cooler. Laugh now. Once you throw the first ice ball thing, it starts a timer that ticks down until either you run out of time or you use all the orbs. The feather is an item designed to be pulled by racers in the front. It gives you a small boost and launches you high into the air, enabling dodging some shells, wall rides, rail grinds, or special shortcuts. Grand Prix has encountered a drastic change that we'll sprint through. Races will be a lot more chaotic now with the 24 racers, up from 12, and to ensure that you get to experience being bullied by 23 people, they changed how the flow of tracks work. Gone are the days of a loading screen teleporting you to each new race. After the first track, which will be completely normal, you will spend the majority of the other 3 traveling to the next course, where you will then do the final lap or 2 before moving on again. This is an interesting change that I'll definitely be yapping about in a later section. A completely new mode. Mario Kart Battle Royale. This mode uses only the in-between sections of the Grand Prix tracks and has no pauses. There are 6 laps, but that is just 6 different sections you run through. Only a set number of people can move on from each lap until the final lap, where the 4 survivors race to win it all. This is probably my favorite mode they added, but it does have its issues, which we'll go over later. Are 24 players making races a bit too chaotic for you? Well, you need not worry, you lucky duck, because I have a place where you can chill. Free roam is a place intended for you to refine your skills on emptiest tracks, and obviously just enjoy the scenery. There are missions to do, items to collect, photos to capture, cars to take over, which is really cool, BTW, and food to munch down. Have you been wondering why I'm playing as a cow for a lot of this footage? Well, with 24 players, they needed to expand the roster, adding in a ton of Mario enemies that definitely should not be driving a car. Obviously, there are a few actual Mario characters to play as, and all of those have costumes to collect. There are 3 things you have to do to collect everyone and everything. You need to beat all of the Grand Prix to unlock the rest of the normal roster, get perfect RNG with the Kamek item to get all of the enemies, and eat all of the food to unlock all of the costumes. The last one needs clarification though. Not every bag of food gives a costume. Each character has costumes assigned to food from specific places and food vendors. Thankfully, you can just grind them all out in free roam if you really want one in particular. Obviously, I need to immediately talk about how drop-dead gorgeous this game is. And it runs great to boot. I caught myself just admiring stuff in free roam very often. Also, I never mentioned the increase to coins, 10 to 20, but I absolutely love it. While it kinda hurts you more if you aren't collecting them, it makes the little of the pack look so freaking funny with all the coin carnage from all the items hitting people. And getting much coinage keeps my silly little brain locked the frick in. Speaking of middle of the pack, the last uber cool thing I like is that they murdered bagging. All items got a universal nerf, and as such are less impactful. That matched with the doubled player count makes bagging for items basically throwing. You need to get to the front and race your heart out to stay there. Unfortunately, I really dislike Grand Prix. Such a cool concept, just completely handled horribly in my opinion. My original interpretation of traveling to each stage was like a race to get a better starting placement. Not a straight line that basically decides the match before you get to briefly experience the beautiful track selection. I guess if the tracks themselves weren't super duper cool, I'd care less about barely being able to play on them. Next for a little issue with Knockout. Obviously, because of Straight Line Simulator, you can get really far ahead, but if anything kills that lead, you are being fed into the middle of the pack meat grinder. Maybe that's just a skill issue though. Finally, I like and dislike the character roster. It's cool they added so many new peeps, but it's so baffling that they didn't add more actual Mario characters. Like Egad, he got axed so that a cactus could race. This is my lightest critique though. Overall, I really friggin' like this game. I'm having a blast learning the mechanics, even though I'm still ass, and just experiencing the atmosphere they've crafted. But of course, this is an expensive game. For me, it was 50 dog hairs, not the 80 it will be, bundled console, but that's kind of a skewed way of looking at it. Obviously, you need the console too, so I don't blame absolutely anyone for either skipping or holding off. In the end, my personal judgment is, if you can play it, I think you'll enjoy it. Make sure to like and subscribe because I'll have a real cool stuffs coming out real soon. Have a good day and thanks for giving me your eyes.